If you're with a team, they will love you for this because we rarely give people permission to eliminate, right? Because more has value, not less, typically. So you give your teams 15 minutes and you say, okay, if you could get rid of any 2 rules, what would they be and why? And at the end of 15 minutes, trust me, they'll want more time. And if they don't, they will have come up with amazing things that are quick wins, assumptions you didn't know they have, cultural norms that you didn't even think, well, that's not a rule. Who told you that was a rule? That kind of stuff. Reports that you realize are not good. We had one instance, we were working with McGraw-Hill, and we were working with one of the C-level executives. And he had his 300 people in the room, and they all were talking about this thing called the MOR. And anytime anyone talked about killing the MOR, it was like lighters going off in the room, people were clapping, it was amazing. And so, of course, when we did the readout of all the things people wanted to kill, the MOR was the big thing. And this guy, Johnny, stood up in front of the room and he said, so I hear the MOR is a problem. And everyone started clapping their hands, woo, let's kill the MOR. And he said, just so you know, I created the MOR. And everyone went, like that's a I'm gonna get fired moment, right? And so he said, but to be honest, I hate it too. It sucks up so much of our time. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna kill it. So everyone's like, oh my God, you're killing me here. I'm not gonna kill it, but I'm gonna pilot getting rid of it for 3 months. And if we don't miss it, it'll be officially killed. It's been gone now for over 2 years. So you don't have to get rid of everything right away, but the idea is, how can you give people permission to get rid of things that you might not know of, that are holding them back? And the thing I'll leave you on is this. How can you better make simplicity a habit, right? We talk about meetings and emails and things that hold us back, and we laugh because so much of our day can be like this. So I'm just gonna give you kind of a tip, going back to the jazz hands and keeping your antenna up for weak signals. The thing you're gonna start to hear about more is not innovation, but simplicity. People are literally drowning in complication. And most of it is, things are complicated, sometimes it's intentional, but largely it's unintentional. People solve a problem, they want to create growth, so they put things on top of systems, on top of things, on top of regulatory, until we become the slave to the monster that we literally created. And so we need to start to think about how can we make simplicity more of a habit. And we're seeing in a lot of companies right now, and when you hear someone say it, that's when it all of a sudden gets reinforced, by the way. It's like a neurological thing. We see a lot of simplification teams being formed within companies. In fact, there are several companies now that have hired chief simplicity officers. And the idea is this. Simplicity is one of the things or the habits that we all possess within our teams, but we rarely use it. And simplification now is kind of a cool thing, but in the future it'll be a competitive advantage, especially with the more data, the more technology, et cetera. And on one hand, it of course is about efficiency. It is absolutely about efficiency, but the reason a lot of these companies don't put it within the COO area is because it is not just about efficiency. The idea is, so we're not bogged down in work and emails. We want to clear away the space of all the stuff that doesn't matter, and that's what the Chief Simplicity Officer, the simplicity teams are designed to do. Because if we get the work right, we get the culture right. So much of our culture stuff is misplaced. We talk about some of these other organizations we work with, having the right environment, and we have colored walls, and we have whiteboards, and we have lots of other awards and recognition, and I think all that is great. But I know very few people that when they get a chance to actually go and do more meaningful work that say no because they'd rather be at a company where the whiteboards are nicer. If you get the work right, you get the culture right, and you get to meaningful work that matters. And that's what simplification is about, and that's what we as leaders need to be able to do. How do you make the little bigs matter to people so they can get to the meaningful work? So with that, I'm gonna leave you, and I'm gonna give you my email address to tell me if you try some of these things, did they work for you? Did you make simplicity a habit? Right? Change is a choice. That's the big thing you have to remember. You do not have to do it. You don't. And by the way, the people that work for you don't either. So you need to give them simple ways that they can start to do it. Reverse assumptions. Let them kill rules or meetings or reports. Right? Have them ask provocative questions and be okay to have that provocative agitation. But most importantly, make simplification a habit. And that's how change can really stick. So with that, I'm going to say thank you very much. Have a good conference. Thank you.